From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fbx Evening News.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Our top story tonight, a Fairbanks man is in jail accused of sexually abusing a 4-year-old girl. According to Alaska State Troopers, 26-year-old Kevin A. Pickett allegedly abused the girl while she was in his care.
That's right. Troopers arrested Pickett yesterday where he was taken to Fairbanks Correctional Center on 2 counts of sexual abuse of a minor in the first degree. Pickett was arraigned today in Fairbanks District Court.
Now a bail hearing is set for tomorrow at 3:15 in his case.
And in other news this evening, a Fairbanks man who police say robbed 17 local businesses in a 3-month crime spree a year ago will serve 7 years in prison after a plea deal in Superior Court this afternoon. Fairbanks police arrested 39-year-old Carl Gage in late December of 2013. They say he broke into more than a dozen local businesses in a 3-month crime spree, stealing more than $77,000 worth of cash and merchandise and causing tens of thousands more in property damage. In a plea deal today, he pleaded guilty to 4 counts apiece of second-degree burglary and theft, as well as 1 count of criminal mischief. He received a sentence of 7 years in prison with an additional 10 years suspended, as well as a 10-year probation term upon his release. He'll also have to pay restitution to the businesses he stole from.
A bail hearing has been set in the case of a Fairbanks North Star Borough School District employee who stands accused of sexual abuse of a Hutchinson High School student. 34-year-old Claude Folks is charged with 7 counts of sexual abuse of a minor in the first degree. Judge Michael McDonald yesterday asked that the state retrieve the police report and discovery prior to the bail hearing, something that has yet to be released to the court. Family members of Folks present in Fairbanks Superior Court yesterday claimed the state has yet to release the evidence, including personal property of the family seized for the investigation. A bail hearing for Folks is scheduled for Monday, April 21st at 8:30 a.m.
As we're assigned to the case, you might impress upon them that the expectation of the court that some discovery be produced so we can have a meaningful bail hearing. This case has been pending for far too long, and we're actually approaching a month since the March 17th date we were represented in the indictment.
A struggle between 2 men led to gunshots reported at a Fairbanks hotel yesterday. 24-year-old Carleen Colbert of Fairbanks was arrested on charges of harassment and taken to jail shortly after the incident. 25-year-old Fairbanks woman Linda Matlock, who was also on scene, was arrested for an outstanding warrant as well. According to a release, troopers and Fairbanks police responded to the report at the Extended Stay Hotel on Airport Way. Upon arrival, authorities found out that a struggle between the 2 men in the hotel hallway was the cause for the gun discharging. One of the men reportedly had a loaded pistol in his pocket. Now, no injuries were reported in the incident and charges were not filed against the other male involved.
Outdoor boilers and hydronic heaters have earned a reputation of being heavy polluters. But a speaker at the Wood Energy Conference says this perception may steer us away from commercial-sized boilers, which he says are very different than hydronic heaters. John Crouch from the Pellet Fuels Institution says commercial boilers are pressurized systems that operate with precision and create few emissions. He says they are being used successfully to heat large buildings and they can save government money.
There are a number of communities in Alaska where either the school or some other institution is being heated with wood pellets. We particularly see that, interestingly enough, in Ketchikan and in southeast Alaska, where a number of federal buildings and federal facilities have moved in that direction.
All right, when we come back, we have your weekly dose of That's Interiortainment.
Also, it's time once again to step into the kitchen with Lisa Gambardella for Fairbanks Flavor, one of our favorites.
Stay with us, yeah, after the break. Welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. One of the hardest things parents go through nowadays is to teach their kids the value of money and how to manage their finances. Today is National Teach Kids to Save Day. It is a national program that organizes volunteers in the banking industry to help young people develop saving habits early in life. As they have for the past 8 years, Denali State Bank sent folks from their financial departments to Ann Wien Elementary School to talk with a number of classes about just exactly how money and investments work.
The goal is really to give the education back to the kids and invest in our community at a young age so that they can grow into financially responsible adults. We reach over 375 students, and we range from teaching them everything about how to save money to what color is a penny, where we teach them about inflation and how to run a small business like a lemonade stand.
The University of Alaska Fairbanks has a hidden gem in their museum. That's right, it's a place where you can go to hear the sounds of the state. We have more now in this week's edition of That's Interiortainment. Tucked away at the University of Alaska Fairbanks is a place where you can go to just listen.
The idea is it's an ever-changing light and sound arrangement that, depending on what's going on in the atmosphere when you visit, it might be glowing a bright red, it might be a blue-yellow.
But what will you hear when you enter the room?
Sounds are tuned into the Earth's rumblings. So aurora, the aurora is signified by a tinkling high bell that some people can't hear. The earthquakes have a different kind of a sound, and they're more of a timbre.
It's a full experience for all based off of the culture and lands of our state of Alaska.
And John Luther Adams' vision was that for a long time, people, the original Native Alaskans, people have been listening to the earth, and the earth speaks to them in many different ways. And so this is his artistic interpretation of what that is.
John Luther Adams designed this from the ground up, and this year he was awarded a coveted prize, one you may have heard of before.
He won this year's Pulitzer for Music, which is pretty amazing. We're very excited. There was definitely a buzz around Fairbanks when the award was announced. He came to Fairbanks in the 70s and lived here for a good number of years, and he says that Alaska is really his muse, that's where he came to being as an artist, where he found his way to express himself, his artistic vision, and so he is very much rooted in Alaska.
I'm Stephanie Woodard, and that's Interiortainment, brought to you by the Finish Line Restaurant and Lounge.
Well, it is time to go to Lisa's kitchen to see what she's cooking up today on Fairbanks Flavor.
Buonasera, good evening. Welcome to Fairbanks Flavor. I'm Lisa Gambardella, and this is my kitchen downtown in Fairbanks, Alaska at Gambardella's Pasta Bella. Today we're making a pasta Genoese. It's from Genoa, Italy, where my grandmother Rita is from. This is one of her classic dishes. Genoa is known for its pesto, which is more like a coating on top of a noodle rather than a soupy sauce. We've got some pancetta ham in here. We've got some celery, carrots, and onion, and those take a while to cook down. Get some nice fat in there from that, add a little olive oil. And now I'm gonna add the garlic. Let that get a little color and build the aroma out of there. A little bit of butter at the end so it doesn't burn. That's gonna be delicious. Add a little chicken stock, just to loosen it up a bit. Very good. I've got some prepared pesto and also some fresh sweet basil. Put some pesto in there. Oh, that's gonna be great. Wow, this is a nice light dish. Easy to make, ingredients that you've got right in your kitchen. We're gonna toss it. And at the end, we're gonna add some nuts in there. Here's our fresh basil. We'll just tear that and pop it in there. And some delicious Parmesan cheese. Wow. You can smell all those flavors coming out. Pasta Genoese. See all our recipes at webcenter11.com and enjoy a delicious Northern Italian pasta. Salute.
Brought to you by Gambardella's Pasta Bella.
You know what, Daryl? Joe's not here.
He's not. He's got the night off. But you know who is here?
Michael Ives.
Yeah, Michael Ives. He's got another huge weekend for playoff hockey for the Ice Dogs, and he's got a preview of that series.
Also, roller derby, a rifle retirement, and Reese Robinson. Sports rolls on after the break.
Good job.
Hello, Interior Alaska. I'm Michael Ives, filling in for Joe Cook, who has the evening off. We'll begin with some Nanook news as a recent addition to the UAF Hall of Fame has retired from their sport. Jamie Barley, unfortunately, will be retiring. from rifle. Yesterday, in a press release from USA Shooting, she let us know that she will be stepping down and retiring from the sport. A back injury, unfortunately, has forced Gray's retirement. Gray will be just 31 years old in May, but has been suffering from degeneration of cartilage in her lower back and a bulging disc. Her back has been a problem since 2010 when training and competing. However, the former Nanook retires on top, having won the Olympic gold in 2012 at the London Games. She set Olympic records in the 50-meter three position along the way. Gray is also a 2010 world champion. A UAF alum from 2002 to 2006, Gray won 3 NCAA titles and 2 individual national titles, 1 in small bore and 1 in air rifle. She is a 2013 UAF Sports Hall of Fame inductee. In her statement, Gray says, "With this injury came everyday pain and the scare of never living life without pain again, which I am not willing to do," she said. "I am also a very active person and want to be able to do active things with my family for many years to come. I am a fierce competitor in anything I do, and I will have to find a way to fill my competitive drive elsewhere in life," she added. "I enjoy the feeling of competition and the anxiety that comes with competing, and I will greatly miss this feeling." Now, after winning their Game 5 series over the Kenai River Brown Bears, your Fairbanks Ice Dogs host the Midwest Division Finals against another rival, the Wenatchee Wild. The Wild are also battle-tested, winning their series against the Minnesota Wilderness in 5 games, including a 1-0 overtime win in the Game 5 clincher. The Ice Dogs won the season series between these two teams 8-4. The real rivalry will be turned up a notch because Wenatchee ended the Ice Dogs season last year in these division finals in 5 games. Now, games 1 through 3 will be at the Big Dipper Ice Arena, and games 4 and 5, if necessary, will be down in Wenatchee. Fairbanks defenseman Wyatt Egge may know the edge for your Ice Dogs. He scored all 6 of his goals this year against Kenai and Wenatchee, and he knows Wenatchee's goalie, Chase Perry.
Well, I know this goalie a little bit. He's from Minnesota, and I played against him in high school, so I know his tendencies a little bit, so we'll see.
Everything that happened last series, we got to forget about it. It's all in the past. Wenatchee is a completely different team, you know. They have the same confidence level as us, won in overtime. So it's going to be 2 underdogs going at it, you know. We got to play with grit, and we just got to want it more.
I think goaltending is definitely going to be a key. The team that sticks to their game plan throughout, I think, is going to have an advantage. And just, I think guys, some big-time players coming up with some big-time goals at the appropriate times.
Now, more news from the Hill. The Nanook basketball team has landed an all-state recruit. Yesterday, Reese Robinson of Service High School signed his national letter of intent to be an Alaska Nanook. Robinson was the 4A Player of the Year, averaging 17 points, 8 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and 1.8 steals per game. He led the Cougars in their state title run, winning 49-47 over West in this year's final. It's Service's first state title since 1991. The 6'4" do-everything forward was All-State first team, an All-State tournament pick, and the Cook Inlet Conference MVP. UAF went 18-10 overall and 12-6 in the GNAC for 3rd place last year. The Nanooks will also be sending off 6 seniors from last year's team. Now, here's something you can roll into this weekend at the Carlson Center, a roller derby doubleheader. This Saturday at 6, the Colden Hart Junior Derby and Fairbanks Gold Diggers will take on the Raven Rebels. The Rebels were state tournament runner-ups last year. It's $16 at the door, but a portion of the proceeds go to the Fairbanks Children's Museum. The Fairbanks Junior Derby team, which has 10 through 17-year-olds, ends their regular season on Saturday. The adults on the Gold Diggers team will look to build some momentum towards the end of their season. They have another bout after Saturday's match. The state roller derby tournament starts May 2nd down in Wasilla. Joe Cook talked to a couple of tough gals during last night's practice about the Fairbanks Roller Derby, the program that's been around since 2008, and this weekend's matchups.
We have girls from all different walks that come in and they've tried other sports, other places, and they just, didn't really fit in with that. But they come into Derby and we have a place for them, and it's really great to see them kind of grow and they get their confidence and their skills up, and it's been pretty cool.
Since we always play together, we're used to, everybody here, we're all, within the same league. We know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and I think you'll probably see that Saturday night at the game. So it'll probably be a more hard-hitting game just because it's just in-house rivalries, we all play together.
Jamie Lynn Smears, pretty clever there. I like that. That'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is up next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Hey everyone, welcome back into the Fairbanks Evening News. Mike Schultz with you once again taking a look at the weather. Pretty interesting weather today. We had some sleet showers reported around the Geist area this afternoon, and I just looked out the window and I could see some more falling on the, looks like the east side of town, so a little bit of shower activity going on, and it kind of relates to our photograph for tonight. This one's sent in by Jorel Schuster, and he was able to capture some showers developing yesterday, and that's what we're getting now. We're getting back into more of a springtime pattern because more land is being available for the heating, and that is helping to develop the showers. As always, if you have a photograph to share, by all means send to photos at ktvf11.com. Here's how it looks like at the airport right now. 46 degrees after a high of 48. The low last night 25. Record high 60 in 1996, down to 16 below in 1963. Sunrise and sunset, 15 hours and 34 minutes of daylight, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. On our satellite and radar, you can see some of those showers developing this afternoon and moving steadily from the east to the west. And some of those are still look like percolating around, so we may have a few more showers before it's all over this evening. Elsewhere across the state, looks like this. Rain is just about subsided across southeast Alaska, but it's in the forecast for more. Little fog around the Nome area. Other than that, mainly partly cloudy to cloudy skies across the rest of the state, and temperatures, again, very comfortable. Lower 48 weather tonight. Again, on the satellite and radar, you can see we're looking at a pretty good band of snow activity moving across the Minneapolis area. They got anywhere from 5 inches to a foot in the northern sections of Minnesota, and we have another activity, another storm system moving across the Pacific Northwest. What's going on as far as the outlook for Easter Sunday? If you're heading down the lower 48, looks like nice weather over the western half of the country, and over the eastern half, the central plains, once again, a band of showers and thunderstorms. And for the overall outlook for this weekend, for the rest of the lower 48, as you can see, we're looking at the jet stream to remain well to the north, and mild temperatures just about everywhere you look, except across the Great Lakes. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. And we're looking in the northern sections for flurries and fog for Barrow, mostly sunny skies for Nome, and some mixed showers in the Fort Yukon area. Here in the interior, rain showers at Delta Junction, scattered clouds for both Fairbanks and Healy, while over the southeastern sections, rain will develop once again in Juneau, and the rain is expected to continue off and on for the Ketchikan area. Over to the southwest, it looks like rain likely for Cold Bay, rain also expected for Kodiak Island, and some showers in the Bethel region. And if you're heading on down to the south central sections around the Anchorage Bowl, partly cloudy skies for Anchorage and Valdez, and scattered showers for Homer. Okay, time once again for our weather fact for today, as we just about wrap them up for tomorrow. Our weather fact was in 1987, Tulsa, Oklahoma had a temperature soar to 92 degrees, very warm for this time of year. Again, thanks to Mount McKinley Bank. And as far as next week, we'll be visiting once again with the kids from Crawford Elementary School. So here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. 25 degrees, the overnight low, mostly cloudy skies, still some isolated showers, mainly to the east of the Fairbanks area. Tomorrow's forecast, quite a bit better, 48 degrees, not as warm as it was, but still partly cloudy skies, and the mild temperatures continue on our 5-day outlook. As you can see here, temperatures once again rising nicely by Saturday, then cooling off a little bit on Sunday and Monday, but the long-range outlook is calling for mid-50s by next week, and maybe even closer to the 60-degree mark toward the end of next week. So all in all, we are getting some great weather, and overnight lows will also be very nice in the low to mid-20s.
Did we have reports of hail today?
It's not really hail, it's sleet or ice pellets. Hail you get with thunderstorms in the summertime, but today, because of the showers going on and the cooler temperatures at the higher elevations, it was mainly just probably ice pellets, most likely.
Okay, so
it's not getting excited.
It's sleet and not hail, and not snert, definitely not
Slail?
snert. No.
Is that
Snert.
snail?
I like that.
No, you can make it up.
Okay.
We do it all the time. So.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, slail.
When you don't
We
know,
call
make
it
it up.
sneet.
Sneeze.
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 Okay, there was
There we
sneeze.
go.
That will work. All right, thanks, Mike. And that will wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams is coming up next.
And remember, you can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
As Easter is not too far away, some schools are having special programs, and today we journeyed to the Wood River Elementary School to see one of their programs put on by their kids there. We're going to leave you tonight with that, so we'll see you back here at 11.